I'm now going to go over an example of a very small kitchen. It actually is only one wall. And if you haven't done so already, please download and print off this example that is inside your course. And also, if you've not done so already, please download and print off the kitchen planning guide for the medallion cabinetry that is, again, available online. And we'll go through the planning of this kitchen. What I'd like you to do is to go along and do some sketching, whether it's on this piece of paper, or maybe you want to put it onto a piece of grid paper, whether it's something that you have from another class, or for this class, or maybe from the medallion catalog. Either one is just fine. But do go along with with the process so that it kind of makes sense to you, and present any questions whichever way that is possible and best for you, whether it's asking me or other students. So before I get too far into this, what I'd like to do is to go over some of the comments that are included in these information bubbles. The comments that I'm referring to are these comments right here, and when you have this up online, you can actually hover over top of these comments, and some information will come up. But a couple of things that I just want to point out as far as kitchens go. We get so used to dimensioning everything following strict guidelines, and that's fine, because what we would know is that we would typically dimension from the outside, if this is an exterior wall, outside of this wall to the center of this wall, and outside of this wall to the center of this window, and then to the center of this wall over here, this interior wall. When we start talking about finished areas like kitchens, we are not interested in how far it is from the outside of this wall to the center of this wall. What we want and need to know is what is the distance from finished wall to finished wall. And as a matter of fact, even though we'll go through and plan this kitchen and plan other kitchens, the cabinetry people will actually wait until this area is done out in the field, has the sheetrock up. They will come and actually measure from finished wall to finished wall, from finished wall to center of window, or probably even to the edges of the window, so that they have exact dimensions to work with, and not what was planned at one time. Another comment, and this is for this bubble right here, is referring to a refrigerator. Now, first of all, a refrigerator, what we'll typically want to do with refrigerators is put them off towards the end of one of the legs of a kitchen. We don't want to put a refrigerator in the middle here and then have the range over on this side. We would, generally speaking, want to have the refrigerator off on one leg, side, or another at the end of the leg. Does that mean that it's never done? No. But that's what I'd like you to do for this plan. The one thing, though, that I would tell you is that it's really nice, and I think I've referred to this before, it's really nice to have the refrigerator a little ways, at least a small ways away from the end of the leg. For instance, what would be nice here is to have a pantry cabinet out here, a pantry cabinet, and then the refrigerator out here. Now, I'll probably end up erasing this because obviously it's not to scale and that type of thing. But what that will do is two things. Number one, it allows the full well, it allows the full operation. The hinge of this refrigerator is right over here. If we open this up like this, we can operate this refrigerator fully because we have this pantry cabinet right here, or this tall cabinet right here. If this refrigerator was right up against the wall, we would not be able to open it much further than that right there. That's as far as it's going to open. I'm guessing that many of you have seen and maybe even lived in a house with a situation just exactly like this. So if we can put at least a small cabinet here, whether it's a pantry cabinet or a just a utility cabinet, that will be to our great advantage. It also, of course, gives us a lot of storage. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the sink. What we generally want to do, again, not always, but what I'd like you to do in this project is plan that this sink go right at the center of this window. It just begins, kind of gives us a place to start, and that works out well. And also the dishwasher. I do require in this small kitchen a dishwasher. You want to have that dishwasher directly on one side or the other side, right alongside the sink. For those of you that have done any plumbing, or maybe plumbing repair, even a small amount, or actually even just looked underneath the sink with a dishwasher, you'll notice very quickly that we have plumbing that goes from the sink, whether it's a single bowl or double, that goes to the dishwasher, and that's how the water gets out of the dishwasher and into our sewer system. So we need to have that right. I shouldn't say that. It's to our great benefit to have them right side by side. If we have an an elbow here in our kitchen, it is not good to have the dishwasher over here and the sink over here. Is it ever done? Yes. But we have plumbing going all over between these two items, and also when I open up this dishwasher, there's a tripping hazard here. A person could be standing here by the sink and turn around, forget that they have the dishwasher open, and trip over that. So it's much better to have the dishwasher on one side or the other of the sink that we're laying out. The rough opening of this window, what we are going to be putting here is a C235, and that's an Anderson window. You can put that note on your plan. An Anderson window C235. It is very close to 4'0", the rough opening from one side to the other. It's actually 4'0" and 1/2 inch. What we don't want to do is to put planned cabinetry right up to the rough opening. I'll show you why. I'm going to zoom in on just one side. Well, maybe I can get both in. Okay, here's the rough opening of our window, and I'll darken it in a little bit right here. There's the rough opening. So you can see that we have trim right here. So even if we wanted to, we could not get, this is where the sink would be, and we could not get the cabinetry right up to the rough opening because we have trim. And I'm just going to estimate that's going to be about 1 inch to the face of that trim. Okay, so we'll want to do one of two things. As far as I'm concerned, we want to either plan this cabinetry to go right up to the trim, and by the way, we want to do that same thing on both sides. Have it go right up to the trim, or we'd want to have it a significant distance away from the trim. For those of you that have done any painting or decorating around cabinetry, you'll know the reason why. This distance, if it's, let's say, a ½ inch, or maybe even 1 inch, that can be quite a challenge to put wallpaper on or to paint. So what I like to do is to plan, and this can be approximate, but between the rough opening and the face of this cabinet, and this is the wall cabinet right here, is 3 inches. Now I'm giving myself some leeway there, because I can kind of play with that. If it comes out better that it's 2.5 or 3.5 or even 4 1/4, that's fine. But that's going to be my goal, is about 3 inches. That'll give me about 2 inches here to paper or paint and that type of thing. The other thing, I'm going to zoom back here just a little bit, is that whatever the distance is over here, I want that same distance over here. So if it is a rough opening, from the edge of the rough opening, if it's 3 inches over here, I want 3 inches over here. If we don't do that, it gets pretty distracting as you're looking at a window. If the wall cabinets have not kind of framed this window evenly, it can get pretty distracting. To be honest, though, the larger these numbers get, the less important that it's exact it gets. So, for instance, if I had 12 inches on one side and 11.5 inches on the other, I'm probably not going to notice it. But if I had 1 inch over here and a ½ inch over here, I'm going to notice it. What I like to do in the finished product is to dimension from the center of my window to the edge of, I'm trying to make this dark enough that you can kind of see it, the center of the window to the edge of this cabinet, and the center of the window to the edge of that cabinet. And if I've done everything right, these two dimensions should be the same. All right. Another note that I have on the floor plan is regarding, well, I guess just the window itself. It is a C235. That again is the Anderson designation. The C window is a casement, and a 235 means the 2 means that it is 2 panes wide. It has 1 operating sash on this side, 1 operating sash on this side, so it would be hinged on the outsides. And the 35 means it's approximately 3.5 feet tall. I'll tell you that it is very common to have 3.5 foot windows and also 3 foot windows high. The 3.5, it gets very, very close to the trim on the bottom of the window, comes very, very close to the top of the backsplash. So some people don't like to get it that close, so they would use a C23. So that would be a casement 2 sash wide and 3 feet tall. I'm going to pause right here for a moment now that we have the notes taken care of, and I'll have you go when you have everything kind of sketched out. What you might want to do is to put this information that is not to scale, because you've just printed it out, and put that information on a grid that is then to scale. probably a ½ inch equals a foot, or about one of these blocks equals 6 inches. Something on that line would be good. So we'll go to the next clip. Thank you.